In this video, I'm going to be helping to show you where sometime in your past, because of things that happened as a child, you may have unconsciously made some sort of vow not to shine, to be seen, or to be heard. And therefore, this could be deeply impacting your ability to be very successful and to allow your gifts to the world. My name is Adam. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Before we get started, I just want to let you know I'm doing some free breakthrough calls. There's a link pinned in the comment section below. So what's a breakthrough call? Well, it's a 30-minute call where we get on Zoom and I help you kind of go over your vision for your life. So we look at what you're wanting to create, and then we look at what's been stopping you, blocking you, getting in your way, and preventing you from taking these steps. And then I help you to troubleshoot some different things and options that you have to really unravel and release these blocks so that you can finally step into your highest timeline. Okay, so I've known for a while that as much as we all think that we're afraid of failure, and we are to an extent, we're really more afraid of success. We're afraid of love. Because most people, most humans have been in so much trauma for so long that sustainable joy, sustainable love is out of our comfort zone. There's all this talk in the self-development movement about stepping into your fear and going out of your comfort zone and how uncomfortable those phases are. And they are, and it is necessary. But it can be really, we can develop some toxic perceptions around assuming that we need to be in terror and trauma and panic in order to be going in the right direction, which often is a byproduct of it, yes. But it's important to understand that it's not really necessary when you heal enough to be in this massive fear all the time. Because like I said, what we're really afraid of is love. What we're really afraid of is our light and our power. And when we get to a high enough level of healing, we can actually sustain love and joy on a regular basis. Just most people aren't there yet. So what happens in our childhood that keeps us from success? Well, of course, it's abusive parents, family members, people who are hypercritical of you. But I'm not going to get too much into that in this video. I'm going to share with you a couple of things that happened to me so you can relate to them that brought out this fear of shining. And we all tend to have these. A lot of times there's a fear that if you're successful, you're going to make someone jealous. You might make a sibling jealous. You might make your parents jealous or envious. Like if we do well, we'll hurt people is a really big belief system. And when I was 14, I started performing. I started doing musical theater. And I was really shy and really nervous, but I also really loved it. And I felt this drive and this passion to be an actor, as well as a musician. And I remember I kind of really quickly manifested an agent. She actually had come in to one of the rehearsals I was in for a show I was doing, and she sat in the back and watched. And she was interested in two people, and I was one of them. And I ended up with an agent very shortly thereafter, and I started getting all these auditions for commercials. It wasn't for like movies or TV shows, but it was for commercials. And I remember there was this one commercial where I kept getting called back for, and I kept getting closer and closer and closer to possibly getting it. And I remember very distinctly this part of me that didn't want it. I was like, oh my God, what if I get this? And I have to be, and I'm on TV, and everyone at school sees that I was on TV. And I didn't get it. I didn't get it, and I remember feeling relieved. But then what happened was, shortly following, I did get a commercial. I got cast in a commercial. I remember just being like surprised. I was like, how did I get this thing? And I showed up on set and it was really fun. It was like they treated me really well because they always treat the talent like specially. It's like if you're an extra, it's like, fuck you, stand in the back, we hate you, but you're the talent. It was really fun. I loved it. I was like, if I could just do this all the time, this would be amazing. But then what happened was it got aired on television and my friends at school saw it. And I have no idea, I do know why, but I wasn't made fun of, I wasn't mocked, and yet I remember just being really embarrassed. I was like ashamed that my face, that myself was on TV. And there was some part of me that kind of went like, I don't know if I want this. I don't know if I want this attention. I don't know if I want to stand out in this way and have everybody looking at me. And there were many reasons for this. I didn't feel worthy of it. I didn't feel deserving. I didn't want people to get jealous. I didn't want to hurt people's feelings. But deep down, it was just that I didn't really love myself enough to allow myself to shine and feel comfortable as the one that stood out. This happens all the time. We think we want success, and part of us does, but part of us doesn't. So where in you, in childhood, did something happen that made you sort of vow not to be successful or not to be seen? Because we make these vows. It's not like, I vow never to do this. We don't state it out loud. We might, but oftentimes we don't. It's the subconscious that makes these vows. Sometimes, like I said, it's like because maybe one of your siblings would have been like really hurt because you were on, TV, or you were famous or whatever it was. Maybe you had a parent that didn't want that for you because they wanted you to be a doctor or a lawyer, and so you were judged. It's like it always connects to like the love we would have gotten, or the fear that if we get the love we'll lose it, because that's another thing that happens with success. It's like we're afraid of success, and we're also afraid of getting success and losing it. Because it's my actual opinion, and I think this is a fact, but that the biggest fear almost all of us have is the crash that comes from sudden loss. It's why people are atheists. So I'll get that into another video. But people would rather stay at the bottom and never go up to avoid going up and falling down. Because we all know that moment when you get a phone call, something bad happened, somebody died, like your account crashes, whatever it is. That shock trauma is what everyone tries to avoid, to the extent of where they will not let themselves be seen, make money, fall in love, any of those things, to avoid it. So where in your past did something like this happen? And just bringing awareness into this, into these vows to not be successful, can really help you shift. Because so much of what we create really involves awareness of where we're blocking things and the things that happened that led to those imprints, and 2, giving ourselves permission. So can you give yourself permission to unblock yourself? Can you give yourself permission to shine, to be seen, to be the lighthouse, and to be successful? And just know also, you don't have to have it all perfectly ironed out. A lot of times too, like I find within myself, I have a fear of success because I don't know success. I don't know what I do. There'd be all these things that I didn't know how to control. And so some part of me is always preparing, but you can only prepare so much. Just know that like you can learn on the job, and you don't have to be perfectly in an amazing space all the time too. You can be a little nervous. You can be a little afraid. You can be kind of confused. Just trust yourself enough to know that you can figure it out. And if you're successful and it falls down a bit, you can always come back. So let me know how this goes for you. Let me know if you have any questions, revelations, breakthroughs. I do have a free book list in the description. It's 15 books that really help shift my life and help me heal drastically. I'd just like to take a moment to thank everybody who watches these videos. I very much appreciate the support. I always like to hear from you guys. Other than that, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.